Greetings to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. As we speak, just less than 24 hours to the AFCON qualifier between Nigeria and the Leon Stars of Sierra Leone. On the African continent, some matches currently going on, some already being played. We know the results. We're going to talk about that as well. Some international friendly matches currently going on as well. We'll talk about that. There's a winner in the Handball Premier League. We'll talk about that on the show. What's happening with the Olympics? IOC President Thomas Bach has some things to say. We'll also put that in perspective tonight. We'll give you a slice of Formula One, talk about Lewis Hamilton, just catch up with him and look at how the things he's talking about in recent times as he hedges closer to winning a 7th title. That's in Formula One. That's the outlook of the show tonight. And, of course, go along with us as we take you on a ride. Let's bring you into all that we're doing on the show. We want to make it interactive as possible. You can get across to us on Facebook, channels for sports. Then, of course, on Twitter, channels_sports. That's how you can get your views heard. You can send us a mail if that's your thing. Sports Tonight at channelstv.com. Send us a mail. Let's know what you feel about all the things happening in your amazing and fast-paced world of sports. Okay, so let me introduce my partner to you. Of course, we're going to be here in Lagos and also do our best to touch down in London. We'll link up with our man, Austin Okon-Ackman, later on the show. But with me in the studio from start to finish, it's going to be Bolu Omoni. Bolu, it's good to have you with me again today.
Yeah, it's good to be back again. At least I'm no mix-up today. And well, everything is all about the Super Eagles now. Yeah. No matter what you say, Super Eagles, the camp, the dramas, the shenanigans, everything. But we just have to win. No matter what you talked about, less than 24 hours. Yes. By this time tomorrow, we should be smiling and thinking about the return leg. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the operative word. All right, so that's it. Like I said earlier, at some point, we'll link up with our man, Austin Okon-Ackman. But let's just move on the show right about now. Let's start with tennis. Bolu has told us that, look, no matter what you try to do, it's all about football. It's about the Super Eagles. That, of course, will dominate our thoughts, will take a large share of the show, but we have to start with Aruna Kodri on the show tonight. Nigeria's flag bearer at the 2020 ITTF World Cup. Aruna Kodri has been pitched against Germany's Patrick Francisca and Slovenia's Darko Jokic in Group 3 of the first round stage of the championship taking place in Weihai, China. The tournament is one of the 4 restart competitions lined up by the International Table Tennis Federation for the return of international events following COVID-19 pandemic, which broke out across the globe. But let me pause a little and talk about the implication of this. Slovenia's Darko Jokic, fast-rising player. A lot has been said. And the German as well. I mean, a tough route for Aruna Kodri.
First off, it's good to note that no matter what happens, Aruna Kodri is the best-ranked player in Africa.
Surely.
No matter what Africa decides to rank, there was a time he was ranked highest according to ITTF. Yeah. But African rankings gave Omar ahead of him, but we don't care. He's the best in Africa. So, but for world rankings, for him to win the Olympic Games, these are almost the same people he has to face. Yes. Yeah, remember when he moved to Europe, he struggled at the start, but over time he got used to it. So it's a very tough game, especially the Germans will be playing. But let's see what happens. He should be able to pull through. My mandate for him is a semi-final will be an outstanding achievement. If he gets to the quarterfinal, I think that should be okay. But like they say, to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Yeah.
And it's right now, fortunately, it starts from the group stage for him, but let's see what happens. He may just be able to pull through. I know it's very difficult, but sometimes, like they say in individual sports, when you come up with your best performance and all, you may just pull through and you have in the next round.
He's seated 13 among the 21 players. I mean, just shows you Aruna's journey. Yeah. Aruna's progressed a lot. He's among the world's elites. Sometimes we need to let that sink in and appreciate Aruna's journey and, how is being seen globally.
He's actually ranked 20th worldwide overall without this tournament. It means there are only 19 players rated ahead of Aruna. So whatever happens at this event, you know, sometimes we Nigerians are always hard there to bash and everything.
Yeah.
Remember, they are just coming together for the first time in God knows how long, the pandemic and all. But I think what they just had to host this event, like, okay, prepare yourself for the next Olympic Games.
Sure.
So, like I said, these are the people you would play. You may lose to them this time around. Aside football, I think every other event at the Olympic Games is arguably the biggest for every athlete. So it's better. Okay, I'm not hoping he loses, but it's the best to lose now and do well at the Olympic Games, because that one now is for himself and for Nigeria.
You talked about those guys ahead of him. Not all of them are here.
Not all of them are here. Like you said, he's ranked 13th at this event.
Among those who are here.
Yeah, that means there are only 12 players at this event ranked ahead of him. And it still does not guarantee that they will all defeat him.
Yes.
Pick up your best performance.
Some we have to cancel each other out.
Yeah, other groups and everything. Just give your best performance. You never can tell, but I think he should be able to pull through from here. Then when he hits the next round, anything can happen from there.
Yeah, once you're still in there. All right, so that's it on Aruna Quadri. Wish him all the best. Nigeria's flag bearer. Africa's Africa's front man in the game of table tennis. All right, before we talk about Nigeria, surely that's the elephant in the room. We're going to address it shortly. Let's look at what happened today on the continent. Some games currently going on, but some already concluded. And me and Bolu will try to give you some of the live scores. But let's start with the ones that have been concluded. Let's look at that. The games that have been concluded, while I allow Bolu sort through those ones that are currently going on. You can also pitch in with the result. Andre Ayew scored twice for the Black Stars of Ghana. He's Mr. Dependable anytime. Forget the fact that he's playing the championship. When it comes to the Black Stars, he's untouchable. Got 2 goals against Sudan. Uganda, slim 1-0 victory over South Sudan. That's in Group B. The Ghana game was in Group C. Let's take a look at some of the results and try and see if we can give you some of the stories in there. Gabon and Gambia still going on now. It's live. It's still goalless.
Yeah, now it's 1-0 actually. They've scored already. Gabon scored the first goal already. Yeah.
All right, so we'll update that. So Gabon has scored right about now. All right, so that's it. Cape Verde and Rwanda, it's goalless as we speak. The Zambia and Botswana, the Zambians were able to pull out something, so ended 2-1 in favor of Zambia. Cape Verde, Rwanda ended goalless. All right, so let's move on and see. I know in the game that Cameroon played, Vincent Abubakar, I'm surprised to see that he's still getting game time. Was on the score sheet for Cameroon, so good one. I mean, a lot of the African teams taking this competition seriously. That's the game I was referring to. The Indomitable Lions against Mozambique. Forget the fact that they are hosting. I mean, this is the best opportunity for a tune-up. Taking it seriously.
Remember, their country hero, Samuel Eto's accident and everything, nothing is affecting them. They're putting everything outside the field. Focus on your game. And you're winning. I think it's good for African football. Remember, back in the days, you hardly see 3 goals in an African game.
Yeah.
2 is always something very huge. 1-0, 2-1, and that's game over. But now the goals are coming. The goals are flowing. Even Ivory Coast also won theirs 2-1. So I think this is a positive moment. Someone told me Super Eagles are playing on the Friday 13th. Hope that's not a bad omen. I said no. There are goals in Africa now, so that should be good omen. Unfortunately, Osimhen also joined the camp and everywhere was raving. So I think I love what's happening in Africa now. We are beyond the phase of 1-0. Then when VAR comes, believe me, I mean, there will be more goals in Africa.
All right, I'm resisting the temptation to talk about VAR tomorrow. All right, Congo and Eswatini, that's Swaziland, 2-0. That's how it ended. So those are the results for today. Bolu already told us about this one, and Côte d'Ivoire 2-1 over Madagascar.
Faso are leading, and Malawi 2-0 second half. So goals are coming in.
Goals are coming in.
Super Eagles, get ready.
Get ready, get ready. Make us happy, make us proud. As the Super Eagles will be playing tomorrow. So these are some of the results. As we go on the show, once there are changes, we'll let you know. We'll do our best to let you know. And, of course, we'll update the results as they come in. Okay, so let's go and talk about Nigeria, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Super Eagles getting set. We have all the players, all the sets. I mean, they've put finishing touches to the preparation, and we can only fold our hands and wait to see how everything that Gernot Rohr has put together in forms of tactics, techniques, and all that, how he comes out tomorrow against a team that I expect to pack the bus.
Well, exactly. Yes, remember last week one of their media men saying, yeah, they have their legend who has retired like Messi has done for this, I think twice. That's Kai Kamara. We shouldn't be scared of Kai Kamara. We should not be scared. And fortunately, like the last time we played, where we had 5 defenders and 5 attackers, this time around, we have a Tebo and Aribo. And Aribo is probably like a box-to-box player, and he's good with the ball at it. So we shouldn't be scared of them. My take is, let's see what happens, how we're going to set up.
Yeah.
If he's going for a 4-4-2, that means you are expecting Paulo Nacho and maybe Osimhen. And if you see what Onachu and the Cirodesas do for their club in Genk, you know this could probably work for Super Eagles. There's nobody taller than Onachu. Just send the ball to me, 6'9". Send the ball, let him bring in that. And we know Osimhen, when the ball is down, either you want to run or set the ball to his feet, Osimhen is ready for you. Whatever happens, whatever formation is set out, I just want to see a good game.
You know, not disrespect to Gernot Raw. My issue with Gernot Raw is he's a stickler for whatever he does. So it's going to be 4-3-3 tomorrow. And even if Onuachu, all of those guys play, instead of playing to their strengths, he's going to cramp them into that 4-3-3. So I don't know. You're likely going to see Alex Iwobi, Joe Aribo, Alogene Karetebo, that triangle in the middle, probably Samuel Chukwueze. I don't know.
Osimhen. I think it will be Osimhen. One thing I fought raw for again, we know Onuachu is best with his head. He has scored, I think, 9 goals this season and 5 with his head. But we have, the day Paulo Nacho started the game, we had Samuel Chukwueze and Samuel Kalu, players who prefer to cut in and shoot.
Yes.
Then the next game, where we had a shorter Cirodesas and someone, Musa, starting up front, we had Simon, Simon who can cross in the ball. And I'm saying, who are they crossing the ball to? Is it Iheanacho or Musa? So I think you need to understand your players. I understand not players trying to fit into the system. I understand that part. But at the same time, you have to find a way to understand your players very well. Not just set up, guys, go there and go and play.
Exactly my point. Look, if you want to stick with your 4-3-3, I don't have a problem. Select players who already understand the system, work with the system, but don't make players look like a fish, make a player look like a fish out of water. Because you look at Paul, and you see what he does for his club, and you know, just with a little tweak.
He's not the player that will make the runs. That's what Osimhen would do.
Stop making him come back to chase the ball.
I remember our first game against Algeria. I'm not sure he missed any ball, any area door. Just send the ball. He's definitely going to win.
Kept those defenders busy.
Very well. And against, yes, we lost the game. My major complaint was gameplay. We didn't have a pattern, sort of, but everyone was bashing at Paulo Nacho, but people forget that all the balls that were sent to him, he was winning everything comfortably. That is his strength. We don't have to play long balls all the time, but there's something they call dynamism in football. When you try one way, it's not working, switch. I always remember Nigeria's game against Greece very well at the 2010 World Cup. They tried every possible angle. They were shooting. It wasn't working after we were reduced to 10 men. They tried to shoot. Miyama was in the form of his life. They were crossing. They changed tactics until they brought in, I think, Samaras threw the long balls and they scored. That is because they have a player who they believe, okay, when we start crossing, he can head.
They're a man down already.
Yeah, and they were a man up. So I think we should find a way around. If you are playing Chukwueze and whoever can cut in from the side, let it be Osimhen. And if you decide to play Paulo Nacho, just have at least one player that can cross. And if they can't cross from the side, let the guys from the midfield keep sending the ball. He can definitely bring the ball down to whoever will pay him up front.
All right, so that's it. And trust me, Gernot Raw has his hands full, and we trust that he'll get the job done. We're just giving our own opinion. But tomorrow, we'll see how he lines up. You know, I don't know. Let me get your thoughts. Who are we likely going to see in goal?
Well,
that's another area.
That's been the biggest issue for God knows how long. Since the unfortunate leukemia to Kali Keme, it's been difficult getting a replacement. I remember when Nigerians are strange, we are very peculiar. When Iyama stepped down, everybody was, replacement. Then when Kali Keme came, Iyama should go with this, we have a replacement. Now, since Kali Keme, no replacement. People talk about merits. I laugh. That when you probably it's your time, you could call it fortune or PR or whatever, but all our goalkeepers since then, except Daniel Akpeyi, have just been okay. I remember when Uzor kept for Deportivo facing for the first time, called him to Super Eagles. Maduka Okoye, PR and everything brought him. After Maduka Okoye came in, everyone was hitting out. Osigwe is doing well for Lugano, brought him in. And also, the goalkeeping area has just been up and down. We are not sure whether. Remember, even in camp, isn't why he's there with them. Even though he said just came here to greet and everyone that we are not sure if he'll play, but he's training with the team and he camped with them. Knowing Genero, he may just go for one player for the 2 games. Remember, we played a friendly match and we played 2 friendly games and we had 4 goalkeepers.
So just
only one of them was in goal. So we don't know what will happen, but still, I'm not trying to downplay Serie A, but Serie A, no matter who stands in goal, but it's good to always give everyone equal opportunities. If that's what everyone says. One of the major challenges I have with MPFL players not being called up, when you hear, but Ross called up this and this, the question I ask is, those that got called up, how many of them played? Those that played how many minutes? So everyone should be given equal opportunities. Either Maduka Okoye or Sigwe. There's nothing wrong in playing either of them. We are not sure of Akpeyi. But Akpeyi is definitely our most experienced goalkeeper.
Currently.
Even by form, he's the most informed goalkeeper we have in the national team. But if you don't want to go for him, you can go for maybe Maduka Okoye for 1 game or Sigwe for 1 game. He's here. Fortunately, he tested negative to coronavirus after the positive test. He's available. Play 2 goalkeepers. We don't have a first choice goalkeeper for now.
That's the truth.
Until we get there, just keep trying everybody. Don't call everyone and abandon them in the games.
Okay. All right. So it's not all doom and gloom. Let's lighten things up. Let's listen to Victor Osimhen and Joe Aribo. Both of them very excited and, of course, expecting a victory in that game against the Lone Stars of Sierra Leone. Let's listen to them. Come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Feeling to be back with the squad, and I'm really happy, and I think the squad is ready to go on Friday. Nothing but victory, but to be realistic, the game will never be easy, and it will not be easy, so we have to prepare well, and which we have been doing. And it's also good for me to be back in the squad, and I think we are all ready, and we will give our all for this win. For me, it's kind of like disappointing, but we understand the COVID situation, so it's important for us, I think, for them to support us from home and anywhere they are, but for their presence not to be felt in the stadium is kind of like disappointing, but we can understand the situation, but it's fine. For me, I think my goals will come, obviously, and but the team victory comes first and before my personal ambition, so I just want to help the team if I'm featured in this game, and I'm looking forward to the game.
Just my normal game. I bring energy. I want to play fast and just make it hard for my opponent and win the game, of course. Hopefully, by God's grace, that's the aim. I want to score goals every single game I play, but I mean, I just want to do all I can for the team to get the result that we can get.
All right, welcome back. Joe Aribo, the Glasgow Rangers playmaker, and of course, Victor Osimhen, Napoli, Hitman, talking there. But before we go on a break, I want you to do this quickly. I know you've not had time to prepare. You're going to do it in about 40 seconds. Line up a team for tomorrow with the players you have in camp.
Let me do a segue in goal. Tyrone Eboye.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Yeah, just we've seen Maduka Okoye in 2 starts and 1.
Okay, so
let's just see someone new. Sigwe, right back. Our best option is, no matter what anyone says, is Tyrone Eboye when fit. I think our best combination for central back has been, since the AFCON, has been Semi Ajayi and William Trustekong. Okay. And left back, Zaidu Sanusi has really impressed in the 2 games they played. Midfield, we talked about it. Aribo, Iwobi, and Tebo in midfield. Then up front, no matter what we say about Chukwueze, he has something special. Chukwueze, Osimhen. Issues on the left could be maybe Musa. I would have loved Moses Simon, but he pulled out due to injury. But let's see what happened. Musa, or you never can tell. Semi Ajayi can come to midfield, play the defensive midfield position. Then Aribo and Etebo. Then Iwobi goes to his preferred left wing.
Okay. All right. In case you just joined us, we've been talking about the Super Eagles. We've also talked about Aaron Okodri, the ITTF World Cup that will take place in China. But most of our discussion has been on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And Bolu talked about his, what if he was going to roll, the kind of team he would line up. And before we leave the Super Eagles, there are other issues we want to talk about. That I know you're not a gambling person, and I know you don't have a crystal ball in front of you. What you have is a 3-star. But what do you think the outcome of tomorrow's game will be?
Well, I mean, the article I wrote this morning, I gave 2-0 for the Super Eagles. Okay. And I was on the show with the guy. He was not that generous. He said 2-0 for what? 4-0, it should be. I said, calm down.
Calm down.
I said, there are goals. It should be 4-0. But I think that's what it takes to win 4-0. But I think 2-0 is more than enough. 2 goals is 3 points. And at least I'd love to see Osimhen get the goal. It doesn't have to be the 2 goals. I'm more particular about our play. Whatever happens, even if it's 1-0, I just want to see us play 4-3-3, 4-4-2. I remember 3-5-2 at the World Cup. Let's just, while growing up, I watch Super Eagles and I'm like, this is Super Eagles. So when they lose, you know, we played well, but
we love them so much that when they lose, we believe conspiracy theories.
I'm not thinking of the referee against us.
Yeah, no, something must have happened. But that was how good they were.
Even if we win, they're like, okay, yeah, thank God we won. So I would love to see how we would play. We've talked about.
Can we get these three things before we go? Can we get these three things? A convincing display, seeing some new players, and a wide margin victory. Is it possible to have those three things in the package?
Wide margin is possible, very, very possible. Seeing new players, knowing general, we may not see any new player. If at all any new player, it could be Osigo in goal. That's probably the only new player that can play. Akpoguma, well, he's a new player to kind of... Akpoguma's best position is in the central defense. But remember, the last game he played right wing and was off position until he was moved back to his preferred position. So I'm not sure he would play... But ahead of those two guys, and there's still Leon Balogun there. But for I think wide goal margin is possible. But for a convincing display, I'm still not convinced myself.
Oh,
because even if you look at the first two games we won very well. But you still can't say this is how we play. That's my worry, because when we play against some teams, especially at the World Cup, hopefully we would qualify. If you are playing against a France, those ones, they pick you on the break, send the ball to Giroud, bring it down for whoever is around them, and they move on. Look at Spain, they play the possession kind of football. England, they just throw the long
You know what to expect.
You can know what to expect from them. They lose games. Look at yesterday, France lost 2-0 at home. But at least you could say this is how these guys are playing. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not sure we can say convincing display. We may win possession. We may win by 5-0. But let's see that Osimhen is here. Even when he switches position, he's still going back there because that is his primary assignment. But whatever happens, let's just win. General said his objective for the 2 games to win both games. So we'll have 2 games to probably make changes, try new players. So that's what I hope. I'm not even thinking of 6 points. 4 points should be enough for us.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's leave it at that. Well, I told you earlier some matches are going on the international scene. So let's just focus on about 2. United States currently played. England as well involved in the friendly. Let's take a look at those results. Any changes? Bolu, Moldova, Russia, goalless, Wales, United States. The Ryan Giggs issue seemed to have overshadowed this game. But while the guys from Wales have handled it well. I love the way they've handled it. But anytime you talk about Wales, Ryan Giggs, the matter just comes up. Then England, the issue about whether they're going to play one of their UEFA nations. Well, they've declared to play at Wembley anyway, but too much drama in that one as well. Yes, make some remarks. So goalless.
Yeah, my worry at this period is friendly games.
Yeah.
I remember before the pandemic, they just played 2 games. And most of the time, those games are qualifiers, except, some groups have odd numbers. So the team that is not playing will play a friendly. But this time around, there was pandemic, too much fixture congestion.
Yeah.
Then they are playing 3 games, including friendlies. Friendlies for what? Just move on. Now, I pity someone like Jurgen Klopp.
Oh,
he's back for...
Even Pep.
Even Pep Guardiola. For Liverpool, 5 defenders or possibly 6 are injured now. That's worrisome.
Okay, so England has responded. Let's see who scored that. They're a goal up now, and it's just 1-0. And we'll see. England, they have the good fortune of changing players at
more
will.
Than enough talent, especially from midfield forward. They have more than enough
So
talent.
Harry Maguire got the goal for England.
United fans should be happy.
They should be happy. He's been able to put all his troubles behind him and get that goal. And so all is well that ends well. Let's see. So 1-0. Trust us, we'll keep going back to this. If there's anything to update you about, we'll let you know. But as it stands, Harry Maguire gets the goal for the 3 Lions of England, and they're in the lead in that game. All right, let's come home. Let's talk about the next best thing after the Super Eagles. That's the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. They played a friendly today against Nasarawa United, and they won 4-2 against a Premier League side. That is not lost on me. It's a Premier League side, and these guys are supposed to be youngsters. Olu is smiling. But I mean, they're supposed to be under 20 and they're playing against Premier League side and they won 4-2. It's something that is an encouraging sign.
Well, is it encouraging? I remember there was a time Real Madrid Castilla, they played Real Madrid in Copa del Rey, and the result was not friendly. The result was a wallop. And sometimes you think like, bros, these are your younger ones.
How come they beat you this way?
The oldest man in the under 20 is supposed to be 19.
Yeah.
And the National United, you can see a 100-year-old among them.
Yeah.
This is a
no age limit.
Mature Premier League side. I'm not saying it's not possible. At least that's the result. That's the final outcome. We got Chris Unwez is scoring a brace. Wisdom Obani. If you don't know him, remember the boy that scores free kick for the under 17. Got a goal then. Aziz Hosseini. So the end of the game is 4-2. But then two things: is it that the under 20 are just too good, or Nasarawa United didn't go with their best player, or they were just there? And the question is, remember this period, coronavirus and everything, are they all well tested? Because it's not just about coming together and decide to play. No, you have to be safe for yourself, and at the same time, you have to be safe for your family. But at least the game ended 4-2, and I think it's positive for the under 20 themselves, preparing ahead of the AFCON they have. And remember, in their Wafu B, whatever happens, Nigerians may not follow those games, but when they lose, we remember these guys lost their games. So I think it's a good preparation playing a Premier League side. And for Nasarawa United, it's also a preparation ahead of the new season that is expected to start December 6th.
So in a nutshell, you're saying, let's be cautiously optimistic.
Kinda.
And not get carried away
I
that
think
they are
so.
beating the Premier League side.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, so that said, let's move on. And let's talk about handball. We've been talking about handball, and after 13 matches, we now have a team that has won, even though with a game left to play. Safety Shooters have emerged winners of the 2020 Handball Premier League. But what are the stories behind all of that? I mean, just look at the picture. It's always good winning a competition with probably a game to spare or something.
You can chill with your last game, but we've seen some champions like Real Madrid after winning last season. The last game was just there. They drew that game. Leicester City, after winning their game, they were still going on a great run. Man City still pushed for that, but Liverpool, after winning, they moved. So whatever happens, you know you are relaxed. If you lose, fine. If you are chasing the record, fine, but you are not under any pressure. But handball, the way they are doing their schedule, I don't understand. Sometimes you see match day 11, and they play 10 games. So how they move the numbers, I don't understand. But
to make it all even.
Yeah, but it's good that we have a champion. I thought Kano Pillars will push them till the last day, but Kano Pillars incidentally also won their game. But 4 points with a game, even if you win 200 for the last game.
Do the maths.
And interestingly, I think shooters have been impressive. 30 points. Kano Pillars with their win had 26. So whatever happens, even if they decide to play nobody in their last game, a walkover, they are champions. And it's like we said last week, it's a wake-up call for everyone that if you do things right, you can move on. And now they have a champion, they can prepare for the next season.
All right, so that's it. Let's take a look at the results. Bolu has clearly laid it out, but there you have it. Match day 13 results. And from this match day 13 results, and like you said, Bolu, in our private chat, these results and the table, you could easily put 2 and 2 together and say, okay, these guys have won. Plateau Vipers lost to Safety Shooters, the new champions, 23 points to 30. You have Delta Force lost to Rima Strikers, 24 points to 31. The Defenders lost to Kano Pillars. You mentioned that as well. Kano Pillars won their game, but it didn't count for much. 22 points to 14. Niger United defeated Kada Stars, 28 points to 22. That's for the men. And so and the men has been called. I was jokingly telling you the same way the U.S. election has been called, even without an official. We've called, even though the competition has not ended, but we know it's impossible for anybody to catch up with.
That's why even the handball Instagram handle, they just had to.
Because no other team can catch up. All right. So for the ladies, Imo Grasshoppers defeated Desert Queens 23 points to 17. The Dynamos lost to Adorable Angels 34 points to 43. The score lines that you're seeing, what does it reflect?
It reflects basketball. But truthfully, you know, handball is completely...
Yeah.
I think football is the only sport that you don't see high numbers for scores. But for, unlike the men, the women's event is still close. 2 points separate the top three. They are still very close, pushing each other. I think Adorable Angels are at the top of the table for now. But whatever happens, you can still drop down. I think women's sports, no matter, we just try to underrate them, but they are always close. Kind of, so you have to keep pushing. And again, I love what handball have done. I love what they are doing. Now, we may not focus on the men's game for the final game. Since we have the champions, let's just see what happens if there can be any shocker in the women's tournament. And yeah, good competition for them.
All right, so let's leave handball and go back to the king of sports, no argument, football. Let's talk about Argentine football legend Diego Armando Maradona. He's been released from the hospital and he goes immediately into rehabilitation. And of course, he has issues with alcohol. So they want to wean him off alcohol. So he's now in rehabilitation somewhere in Buenos Aires so that he can be treated for surgery is over, but the issue with alcohol dependency is what is being sorted. He left the hospital with some members of his family. And I mean, you could see all of this, journalists, fans, everybody keeping vigil. But I'm very happy that the second phase has started. There's no danger to this. There's no immediate pressing danger to his life. But he has to get off the alcohol dependency.
Well, that one is the hardest part. Because Maradona is 60.
Yeah.
And for someone that has been drinking for maybe 60 or 70% of his life.
16 years.
Now trying to bring him out of it is a huge job. It's possible, but it's definitely going to be very difficult. But like you rightly said, the fact that there's no immediate danger to his life is key. He's out of the hospital. You could see how important Maradona is in the country. He's not the president, but media guys were there 24/7, keeping tabs with him. Is he fine? Is he breathing? Is he moving? Is he dancing? And when they said he spoke for the first time, everyone was in frenzy that at least this man is alive. I think it's possible to take the alcohol off him, but whatever happens, there has to be precautions all around. He needs people around that don't take alcohol constantly, because if there are guys around him that probably every minute are also taking bottles and all, that will be very difficult. But the next phase now is, if the rehabilitation works, then now let's focus on who we'll be staying with. They have to be clean people, or else the rehab will work for that moment, and when he gets back home, he continues.
He doesn't need people who are going to indulge
at all.
All right. So we'll see. But do you think he can get back to coaching? Because you just talked about it. It needs to be around the right people. And if he has all the time on his hands, a lot of people are afraid of a relapse. Although I know he needs to get off this first before we even start getting afraid of a relapse. But, I mean, the fear is there because of all the issues that he's had, honestly.
I think the best thing is just probably step down as the coach. There are many positions he can take in the club. I remember Ruben Delared, the young Real Madrid player. I think Delared is probably about 30 or less now. When he retired due to his heart conditions, they had to make him a board member. So he's part of the administration of the club. So he can find some, because coaching takes a toll of you. I remember when Mourinho started coaching, all black hair. Suddenly in a year or two, everything started changing, and now everything is great.
I remember even what Pele said about Mario Zagallo. Says Mario Zagallo was my teammate, just a few years older than me. Now he looks like my grandfather.
Yeah,
because of coaching.
It takes a whole... When players are not on the field, when they're not training or playing, they are everywhere just chilling, having fun. But managers sometimes, I remember Pep said, sometimes watch a game 50 times.
Yeah.
To watch a replay of a full match again is stress for me. They look at Pep saying, then that is him. So managers may do more or less. So I think he should just step down as a coach. It can be, even a honorary president is good enough. Let's just chill. When they are playing important games, maybe a derby match, you can come around, chill. But like we said, this phase is the next. Let's see, hopefully we'll survive this phase and come out well. Then on to the next one. You know players, especially when they win maybe a cup or something.
Champagne starts flowing. Okay, all right. So that's it. So let's move on. Okay, updates from England has made it too. So there's a follow-up to that. Jordan Sancho has added to that. So the Three Lions doing well against Ireland, 2-0 now. Wales, United States, still goalless. And England looking like they're on their way to victory.
Yeah, at the man everyone has been fighting for, Jack Grealish, finally got to start again this time, and he provided the assist for the second goal. But England...
I think on current form,
he should be starting every game.
Ahead of anybody.
The fact that he missed the last call-up was strange. Remember, when he got his debut, he had to go... they called him after injury.
Spent a large chunk of those interviews defending why Grealish was not invited.
And I tried to make sense of the defense. There's no...
It doesn't hold water.
If Grealish plays in the middle, he's better than almost everybody by form. If he plays on the wings, he's better than almost everybody by form. So there's no real reason not
unless
to take
he has
him
an
along.
attitude problem.
Possibly.
Which is not
It doesn't look like he's captain of his club. At a young age, everyone likes him around. So, except probably he has a personal problem with him. I don't think there's anything... now he's starting another game, providing another assist. I remember the game he made his debut. It was until Rashford got injured before they replaced him. And when he brought him on in the second half, he created more chances than everyone that started the game and finished the game. And for someone that had less than 30 minutes, it means he has something. He may not score all the time. I remember his goal that helped them qualify, remain in the Premier League was his first goal in about 7 months. But despite scoring that goal, even the games he was not scoring, you know there's a player that gives you problems. So I think it's a positive for Jack Grealish. Maybe he could be the missing link for England, but England are used to winning heavy in friendlies, winning heavy in qualifiers. But when the main event happens,
they falter.
They become England.
Okay, that's it. So that, trust us, we'll keep going back to that. If there's an update, we'll give it to you. Bolu, let's go and talk about the Olympics now. And IOC president, that's the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, he says he's confident that with all the news that we are hearing about vaccines, about sporting events being held, even with COVID, that look, there could be a safe environment for the Olympics to be held next year. And they're looking at multiple scenarios. A scenario with vaccine, another scenario without the vaccine. And they asked him, are we going to shift the Olympics or cancel it? And he gave the answer, an emphatic no. So we're going to have the Olympics next year.
Well, I think what we should be debating is, will there be fans or not? For the event itself, I think it will happen. And one of the things they said was, players or athletes, everyone will likely get there at least 2 weeks before the event. You will be quarantined for 2 weeks. So I think the sensible thing for every athlete is get there at least 2 weeks or even 3 weeks ahead. So when you go to quarantine... As a matter of
fact, even with regards to that, there's even an update that they don't even need to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially with the vaccine and everything. So just get there, enjoy yourself. I think the event should... No matter how much you say no fans or whatever, I think the best is hopefully we go beyond this phase of no fans. Because no matter what happens, no fans, the people there will want to enjoy the Olympic Games. Sure. You cannot host Olympic Games and just look. I'm sure people felt bad when they lit the torch this year and no fans. Even those that were moving, it was so boring. Now people, thousands of fans will be coming to, athletes will be coming to your country. Some of them will sneak out. But fortunately, there is vaccine, at least for now, that we are hearing. So I think the Olympic Games will hold, no matter what happens. Look at what football are doing. Even CAF told them point blank, if you don't have 15 players due to whatever it is, you lose your game. And nobody wants to lose games. That's why they are pushing. And also, we just want to enjoy sports. We want to enjoy what we love watching and talking about. So for next year, Olympic Games or Tokyo 2020, like they still want to call it, will definitely hold next year. Same with Euro 2020.
All right. So let's listen to the IOC President, Thomas Bach, explaining to us that the Olympics will be held in a safe environment for everyone.
Again, given the toolbox we are putting together and given the latest and the very recent developments with regard to rapid testing and vaccination, we are very confident that we can offer a safe environment for all the athletes from all the national Olympic committees and from the IOC Refugee Olympic team. There are different options under consideration. How vaccines can be made available. But, first of all, the first wave of vaccination is, and this is what we are supporting very much, must be for the people in need, for the high-risk groups, for the nurses, for the medical doctors, and for everybody who is keeping our societies alive. And in this context, then we will have further discussions, again, with all the experts and with the manufacturers, with the government, with other health authorities, with other national, with other non-governmental organizations.
Welcome back. Let's quickly go back to international friendly. Let's see if anything has changed from the last time we talked about it. Last time we brought you an update was 2-0 in favor of, okay, still the same. England against Ireland is 2-0. Wales yet to, Wales and United States, no goals yet. So I don't want to make it sound as if I'm expecting Wales to win and the other one as well. So are we likely going to see a goal in this Wales-United States game?
We may see a goal. Yeah, it's very, very possible. But, you know, without them, Ryan Giggs, new style, new formation. But US...
Even though his assistant said nothing has changed, they're still going to... Same team, same players, still Ryan's team. Even though I doubt that.
Well, it's easier to say that thing. I remember watching Spain at the World Cup playing a completely different game under Fernando Hierro, despite being the assistant under Lopetegui, same style, everything. But it happens, sometimes you want to bring in your own ideology. Same thing even happened to Luis Enrique. Stepped down, Di Maria came on, and a different teammate. Unfortunately, they still kept on winning. There could be a goal. It's very possible, but these are the kind of games that may just end 1-0. USA are not the national team you expect to score many goals. They are not even used to play many European games. Probably preparing ahead of the World Cup too, they decide to come down to this part of the world. So I won't be surprised if that game ends goalless. It's very, very possible.
Okay. What about the African continent? Games gradually moving towards the end. Gabon and Gambia, I think it's 2-1 right about now.
Yeah, it's ended now.
It's ended. Yeah. So it's ended 2-1. Gabon and Gambia ended 2-1. Algeria seems to be pummeling Zimbabwe.
They're what they call vexing. They are angry right now. 3-0, 70 minutes. It shows they've progressed from the AFCON. I remember the last time we defeated them at the World Cup qualifiers, even though they gave them the win for the second leg. They moved on from there till now. You could see progress. Most North African teams are possession-based teams, not muscle. But Algeria brought in muscle. And I remember they out-muscled Senegal,
pace.
They out-muscled Nigeria.
Yes.
It means they have something others in the North African region don't have. And now they're scoring goals with ease, and they are probably one of the best players in Africa.
And even, I like your reference to the Nigerian. Before that game, I felt, well, if they were better than us, technically, or if the atmosphere, we could use our physical. It didn't show. It didn't show in that game.
I guess it wasn't going to show because after seeing their game with Senegal in the group stages, I knew these guys were not here to joke. And in the final, the same thing happened again against the same Senegal. I think they've studied the West African terrain, and they are using both their playing style in the north and our prowess in the West African region. So good game for them. So, but football is strange. They may continue like this and next AFCON and they still lose out.
Okay. All right. I told you we're going to give you a slice of Formula One. So let's just go straight and talk about it. Formula One returns this weekend in Turkey. Lewis Hamilton, the Brit, closing in on a 7th title. It's going to be very difficult to bet against him. Even if you are the most optimistic guy, it's very, very difficult. Unless he breaks his leg, unless... I don't even see the scenario.
I don't see any scenario for him not winning. And incidentally, this track has not hosted any race in 9 years. Last was in 2011. And the last winner was Vettel. And Vettel is not the same Vettel now.
No.
Vettel now looks like anytime he hears Hamilton coming, he loses his mind and everything. Even when he's leading sometimes, if Hamilton is chasing him down, something for whatever reason, Hamilton goes past him.
If you're a newcomer to Formula One, maybe you joined 3-4 years, and we start talking about Vettel,
like,
you think, who is Vettel?
And
this was a guy that was winning back-to-back.
Like 3 or 4 straight years. Yes. Then Hamilton was not winning. But
even Hamilton complained at some point, said it was getting boring, that it was only Vettel that was winning. I wonder what he would say now that he's the one winning.
Now he's winning, it's fun. And like you rightly said, it's a no-brainer betting against Lewis Hamilton in any track. And incidentally, even the last in this track, he didn't even make the podium.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't win this time, you expect Hamilton to make the podium, except like all those probably deduction or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to best against him. The best racer with the record race wins record for. He has now joined the same record for overall championship with Michael Schumacher. So he's in the form of his life. He's enjoying himself. And like they say, it is not about the car. It is the man behind the wheels. Some will tell you should change, but why will I change if I have what I think is the best car? And you know, in sports, it's about the highest bidder. And it looks like Mercedes knows what they want. So why will I let him go if he's bringing in money for? So he will likely retire with Mercedes.
He had to sign the deal, though. All right. Okay, let's listen to Lewis Hamilton and, of course, looking ahead to the Grand Prix in Turkey.
I mean, watching the TV and watching Michael get the 7th and being like, wow, that's 7. But when you're in it, it's different, you know? I mean, we're going to continue to fight for more championships. We're going to continue to try and improve and continue to race and do what we do. We love doing. Matching an icon like Michael, I'd be incredibly proud of that. But I think it's more the message that it sends, hopefully, to people, not just kids, but hopefully mostly kids, because they're the future, that you have to dream bigger than you think you can dream, and don't let anyone tell you can't go for that.
Okay, Lewis Hamilton, always inspiring. All right, Bolu, we've crossed the finish line, but parting shot, if in a few seconds, if you know the Super Eagles are listening to you ahead of the big game tomorrow, what will be your message?
Do well, make the national team proud, make the country proud. Let Nigerians enjoy Super Eagles again. Now we have young, exciting players that, like, if you ask any journalist I've interviewed, many of the young guys, the new players now, they tell you they are friendly, but they should bring their being friendly to the field of play. Enjoy yourselves, play good football, and at the end of 90 minutes, let's all laugh.
All right, so that's it. Of course, the finish line. Bolu Omani, I want to thank you for your time on the show today.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of your day. Still one more edition left for the week. We're back again tomorrow to do that for you. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.